Hey guys, Jeremy with A to Z Shooting here. Have you ever been interested in becoming a Stop the Bleed instructor? And if you say yes to that question, then my next question would be, what's stopping you? I myself was interested and chose to seek out the qualifications. And after a little bit of research, found that I did meet them. So if you're like me and that's your first hurdle, congratulations. That's pretty much it. You can go sign up, it's super easy. If you're not, it's gonna take a little bit of extra effort, and I'm more than happy to describe that in a future video. However, today what I wanna discuss is for those of you who answered yes in that first question. So myself now, as a Stop the Bleed instructor, immediately wanted to start implementing cool and fun practical exercises in my class. Issue being is if you did what I did and you went on Amazon, or you just did a quick Google search just to see how much a Stop the Bleed trainer kit is, you were probably absolutely blown away by how much a gelatinous chunk of flesh could be sold for. So thankfully, due to the power of the internet, there are folks out there who are far smarter than me that have made resources available for folks like me to make our own trainers for far less. So today we're gonna go over the materials to make our trainer. I'm gonna put all the links in the description below, and then we're actually gonna go through and we're gonna make one. We're gonna try it out, we're gonna see how it is. So without further ado, let's jump in and get started. First things first, you have to have your measurement tools. What I chose to do here was I measured out 5 ounces on 2 cups, and then I just marked it off. And that's going to be what we pour our part A, part B to. So we'll set those off to the side here. Here are our molds. Now these are actually really, really cool. And I've got a link below in the description where you can find these prints. They are completely free. So just to kind of give you a little bit of idea here, just so you can kind of see, that's a hollow mold here, and then I've got a cavity right here. So this is a negative that we're gonna pour a mold into, and then we'll have our own fleshy gelatinous cube that we can stuff with all sorts of materials to stop the bleed. Lastly, our final component here is going to be our platinum silicone mix. This is from BB Dino. I saw another brand was Smooth On. I guess we're about to find out today if there really is a difference. This I was able to find, of course, on Amazon. I believe Smooth On was on there as well. However, the shipping on this got it to me quicker, so they won. And then lastly, we have our pigment for the mold. So if you choose to not use this to color the mold, then you will end up with a clear silicone mold. Completely up to you. I would definitely say I can see some value in a clear mold versus a skin colored mold if you were trying to see through it to be able to kind of gauge if somebody was using correct technique. For packing a wound, clear mold would be the way to do it. However, in this case, I am going for realism. I want a skin cube is what I'm going for. I'm going for a big old flesh brick. So that's pretty much that. I think the big thing of note here, and I will show, is that the pigments are fantastic. They all look great. I've got a blood colored pigment here that I'm trying to figure out what I can make, what I can mold and make blood colored. But again, this just does note, this is also from BB Dino. This is their silicone pigment 9-color pack. This just says to mix with part B before mixing with part A. So prior to mixing both of these together, I am going to have to put a little bit of the pigment into part B first. Okay, well, I've never done this before. This is the first time I've ever worked with any of these materials. So if I ruin this, it is what it is. If I don't, then we're very lucky. So between the two molds that I have, I did want to focus today on the gunshot wound because that is the one that is most relevant to me in my field of choice. So that's what I kind of think is gonna prove to be the most valuable one for me right now. Not saying that I'm not gonna make big old wound over here, big old channel, but I think that just for now, this is what I want to practice. Nothing really said that I needed to put any sort of release agent inside of it, and this never really said anything either. So, I mean, you know, I've got the access to the 3D printer if we need it, so if I need to come up with a new mold, I can, or the Miles can. Okay, well, we're gonna glove up. We're gonna put our PPE on first. That's super important. Should be fun. Already busted through this glove. We're already ruined. I will say something that does either gives me hope or it worries me, but I did read through the reviews on this, obviously, prior to purchasing this one, and there was a lady who was selling adult toys that uses this and said that it makes fantastic material. So that does give me some hope that we are going to end up with a high quality mold here, but I still have to sleep at night with that thought in my mind. Okay, so let's first get this open. I've never done this guy before, so let's just get it primed a little bit. Let's see if we can, there it is. Okay. Pumped up, ready to rock and roll. And again, I've got just 2 lines on here, which is about 5 ounces, so giving me about 10 ounces. The mold calls for about 300 milliliters of material, about 10 ounces. So we've done 2 5-ounce marks on our cup. I'm gonna mix up 5 ounces of part A, 5 ounces of part B. We're going to color part B with a little bit of the pigment, and then we are going to pour the mold. So I guess let's just do it. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, there's one. Super stick here, because I don't want to touch it yet. And here we go. Right. Let's just a little technical difficulty there, but we're back in business. So we've gotten part B open, and we've gotten part A open. So now we are going to fill them up, and just like the pigment says, we're going to add 0.001% to 3% to part B before mixing with part A. And everything online pretty much just said to go very light on it. A little bit goes a long way. So let's go ahead and mix up our part A. Okay. Part A. And let's go ahead and mix up part B. So now we are at part B. I'm going to start with 1 pump and then just keep adding 1 pump at a time to see where it gets me. 1 pump. And, oh yeah, look at that. They weren't kidding when they said that. I mean, honestly, that's pretty skin colored already. I'm gonna do just like a half a pump. Just like that. Let me spoop off that little bit right there. And let's just I'm gonna do a little bit more because we are gonna mix these together, and that is gonna probably dilute it a pretty good amount. So let's just get this nice and mixed up. And I mean, you know, I don't really know what it's supposed to look like. So let's just do a little bit more. Let's do it until we get a good feel about it. So we're just gonna keep stirring this until we get a nice fleshy pink skin color that we like, and then we'll mix them together, and then we'll pour it in the mold, and then we'll wait about 4 to 5 hours until the mold solidifies. It takes about a 4 to 5 hour cure time. But I mean, after that, we should have a pretty good, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, honestly. Like that's You know, I don't know. You know, I'm kind of worried I'm going to ruin it. I guess I'm going to take a chance. One more. We're going to just do one more and just see, because I'm pretty happy with that. So let's see if this ruins it. It's like you never know when to stop, do you? Okay. Honestly, I'm going to stop because I think that's it. So we're just going to mix it up nice and good. Okay. I think, I mean, really, I guess I could just mix them together. I guess I shouldn't waste another cup, right? That'd be stupid. Okay, well, let's just do it. We're rocking and rolling. I think that looks awesome. That's like fleshy pink happy right there. All right, down the hatch. So let's mix part A, part B, and then we will equally mix them. There we go. Make sure we get everything. Leave no material left behind. Okay. So we have officially mixed up our stuff. Let's just kind of use that for storage. Yeah, let's just give this a really good okie dokie. Artichoke. I think we are pretty much at the point where I want to be. We're going to just really make sure that we're nice and married up in there. Okay, now I know this would be the point when if I was like going hard, I believe I would vacuum this. I would put it in vacuum to remove the bubbles. So what I am going to do is I'm going to kind of tap it, trying to see if I can get any of these bubbles to come up. Is this doing anything? I have no idea. But I mean, we can hope, right? We can dream. Although I do see the bubbles on the surface are dissipating. Now that we have tapped our little hearts out, we're gonna go ahead and protect the surface of our table here from any damage by putting a little paper towel down under us. And it's time to pour our mold. So, cool. Cool. I guess this looks like it wants me to pour over into the spill. Yeah, look at that. It's almost like this guy knew exactly what he was doing when he made this. And kind of push it back here and let it kind of figure itself out. I did maybe over pour a little. I'm sure I could like probably do one of these little guys here. Ooh. Okay, I'm satisfied. Now, we're gonna let this sit for 4 to 5 hours until it cures, and then we're gonna pop this bad boy out, and we're gonna see if this works out, if this is a viable way for you to make your own training aids, which I think it is. So I'm pretty confident. I guess really the big question now is gonna be, is the quality of the silicone up to speed with the Smooth On brand, which again, as of right now, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. I'm very happy with the color of this. I'm very happy with really just kind of overall the entire thing here. So I will see you all in 4 to 5 hours and we'll go from there. Okay, what's going on everyone? It has been about 5 hours. I definitely have been coming out here. I know on the up here camera, it's kind of hard to see because of the light. I've definitely been coming out and giving it a touch. Now here's the deal. I do have some bad news for myself. Just from touching it and seeing how tacky it is, I can already tell I messed something up. Yeah, I definitely did something wrong. However, I will say it does feel solid. Like that is a for sure thing. So aside from it kind of being a little gummy, which maybe I could possibly fix with like some baby powder or something, you know? I think it's time we try and bust this bad boy out of
this mold and kind of get a look. So let me kind of maybe try and see if I can find a seam. I suppose one of these would probably make it a little bit easier, right? Now it is a little gummy. Okay, now we are pulling up the mold. And honestly, it's actually not as bad as I thought it was. Like when I first came out here, I don't know, maybe half an hour or so ago when I touched it, it felt really wet. And it doesn't feel as wet. Okay, so we've definitely peeled our flesh cube. Now it's time to kind of work it out. Oh yeah. Really just gotta get in there. I'm trying not to hurt it. Oh. Okay, one side definitely out. Let's work it. We're just working it. We're just hanging out. All right. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's perfect. It's awful, but it's also, hold on. Perfect. It is in fact a pretty good representation here of a great big hole, a great big channel that we would have to fill. But I can tell you that it's pretty good. I am very satisfied with it. I'm happy with how it came out. Pretty cool, huh? Honestly. All right, well, I'm gonna tell you what, we are gonna make another one. And you know what? My fears about if I was gonna have to clean this a lot or anything were pretty much non-existent. This thing pretty much cleaned itself. So all in all, very happy, would do again, but we do need to figure out the formula because that is a little too sticky for my liking. All right. Again, Jeremy with A to Z Shooting. I will have a bunch of updated resources for you folks if you're interested in making one of these yourselves. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night and stay dangerous.